Hello, my name is Jake Swan, and I'm a photographer. As a photographer, there are some frequently asked questions that I receive from clients, and some information that I would say is essential in choosing a photographer. But a lot of times people don't know what questions to ask or even how to ask them, maybe. So I found this questionnaire on weddingpartyapp.com via Pinterest entitled Questions to Ask My Wedding Photographer. And I thought I'd make a video addressing the questions that I could apply to every wedding, in sort of a generic sense. So the first question listed was, what is your preferred style of photography? And I would say that I have adopted sort of a photojournalistic fine art style. What I mean by that is that I try my hardest to make even my posed shots look as genuine and organic as possible, so that it's still, I'm documenting the event, but I'm putting in my artistic vision, The second question says, how many weddings have you shot in your career? Well, I've been actively doing photography for 7 years now, and 2016 is going to be my third year of doing it professionally. I've done more than 25 weddings, which kind of depends on when you've viewed this video. But my portfolio spans from California to Pennsylvania, from Massachusetts to Florida. I've also shot internationally in England and Canada. The third question was, do you bring your own lighting? Well, as part of my style of photography, I use a lot of natural light. So when I do use artificial light, it's very simple. I usually use just a one flash system, and I do bring that myself. The fourth question is, do you work from a shot list? Well, the answer I would say in short is yes. I developed a shot list that I keep to personally, so that I ensure that I capture certain things that really tell the story of a wedding day. This list that I keep mentally it came out of working with a well-established photographer in the past, and also by my own experience throughout the years of what I've realized is essential to a wedding. The fifth question is, can I request certain images are taken at the wedding? Yes, I really encourage this actually, and I used to use Pinterest a lot in my earlier days with trying to find different pose ideas or just ideas in general. And I always am up for trying an idea that I find personally or even a client brings to my attention. And as far as group shots, it's very key that I have that information from the client, whether it's a family shot that I'm not going to know who to group together. I really do need that information. And then there's also sentimental details that play a key role in weddings, whether it's a family heirloom or just someone that's going to be involved in the day, a relative that's very important, very special to that person. I would really appreciate the heads up, so that I can make sure I'm looking out for things to capture, basically. The sixth question is, how many hours are included in your package? Well, I work in full days. There's actually a question earlier on the original post that asked about how many weddings will you shoot on my day? And I felt like this question answered both and kind of answered it better. So, like I said, I work in full days. I only take on one wedding per date. I want to be able to focus all my time and energy to the flow and the moments of a specific wedding. I know it's really cliche to say, but I try to give 110%, as it were, to a wedding day. And I'm there from the first brush of makeup on the bride's face all the way to the last people dancing on the dance floor at the reception. So in short, my hours span from, whenever preparation starts all the way until the end of the reception. So the seventh question is, how many images can I expect to see from my wedding? Well, this one's really impossible for me to give a specific answer. It's even hard for me to just give a range, a general range, because the more that there is to capture, simply the more that there is going to be captured. There's going to be more images. So if there's a lot of guests, bridesmaids, groomsmen at this large detailed venue, and there's a lot of things going on, there are going to be way more images than at a very simple wedding, where there just isn't as much going on. I've had a range of anywhere from around 250 images all the way up to 550 images, and those are all final shots. It just really all depends. The next question is, do you have a limit to the amount of images you will edit? My answer is no. And actually, it was in the Pinterest post that said the answer should be no. Well, my answer is no. I edit anything that's a keeper. There are test shots, so there might be a time where you see me take a picture, but it's, it could have been a test shot. I also have outtakes, there's blinking, other things, human error. There's also doubles. I shoot sometimes in continuous mode, so if there's an image slightly before the other one, but this one turned out better, I don't include the doubles just because it's, kind of irrelevant. I don't give unedited files. So everything that the client does receive are the final images, and it's everything that's a keeper. Like I said, it's been processed, color corrected, touched up if needed, just completely edited. The 9th question is, how long does it take to see the proofs for my wedding? Well, I give all the processed full resolution images about 6 to 8 weeks from the wedding. It's my general rule of thumb. 10th question is, do I receive a disc of the images, or do I have to order all the prints through you? Well, I don't give discs, but I do give custom engraved flash drives. It's sort of the same principle, just kind of updated. I recently rebranded, and my flash drives are currently glass with a chrome cap, and my logo is in the glass, and then the chrome cap is where the names and the date of your wedding would appear. With the contract, there's a print release, so the client is free to print all and any of the images wherever and whenever they would like to. So, for instance, if there was a mishap where a print was, something spilled on it or whatever, you don't have to come back to me months or years later and try to get that image reprinted. You have the flash drive and you can get them printed again. So it's kind of nice for the client there. The next question is, will you use my images in any advertising? Well, alongside my website that contains select weddings out of my portfolio, I'm active on social media. I do like to post images from most of the weddings that I shoot on my Instagram or even Twitter. However, if a client does wish to remain off of any advertising, off of any social media or anything like that, I understand their wishes and I respect them and will abide by them. So I guess that answers that. The next question is, will you request the photography guidelines from the ceremony and reception locations? Well, most locations are pretty straightforward with their guidelines, but I will call any location that we'll be taking photos at throughout the day and verify that I understand what their guidelines are. If it's a public place, make sure where we can shoot in there, or just really what the specifics are of shooting at a given location. So that is a yes. I do all the homework in that aspect. What will you wear? Well, I usually wear pants and a polo or a button-up from the beginning of the day, of the wedding day, when all the preparation things are going on. And then I change into a suit and tie for the ceremony and stay in that until till the end of the day. What is your plan if you are ill or there's an emergency and you can't photograph my wedding? Well, this has actually never happened to me, though I do have a full refund cancellation policy if it were to regrettably be me that has an extenuating circumstance and I have to cancel my services. I also have a moderately good network of other photographers from my own contacts, that I would be able to try to help reach out and assist in finding a replacement to the best of my ability. So that was really it. There were 23 questions in the original post, but I pared it down to the 14 that I answered because I felt like the other ones didn't really have a generic answer or an answer that could apply to any wedding. So please contact me if you have any other questions, or if one of those other ones you would like to have an answer to for your specific situation. I have a contact form on my website. I'll link that somewhere. I hope this video will serve as a resource for my future potential clients. Again, my name is Jake Swan at jakeswanphotos.com. Thank you for watching.